Listen, it's your man Big Ticket doing big things. You checking out Sneakers and Sports, you heard?
Yo, welcome to Sneakers and Sports. This is your boy Dom. We got Mike the expert. We gonna break down a little update in regards to our bracket. Say what's up, Mike.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. So we got some right and we got some wrong. So let's talk about a little bit what we got right. The first thing we got right, we got our bracket pulled up right here. If you see it, the first thing at the very top, hey, Auburn's looking good. We certainly got that right.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, we have Auburn, going to the Sweet 16. They're headed there. And, they look decent. Okay. Like I said in the last video, SEC is king in this NCAA tournament this year. So they're definitely holding it down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Auburn's kicking butt. It's just like we thought they were going to do. I mean, even in their first game against Alabama State, they won by 20 points. It was their largest tournament win since 1999.
Okay.
So they're really doing their thing. So I think, honestly, the way that they're looking, I think that they could, keep going.
Yeah, they keep going. Hey, Bruce Pearl, definitely, he's a good coach, good motivator, so I'm looking forward to certainly their showing in the Sweet 16. Now, what we did get wrong is our discussion in regards to Michigan. Y'all came at me, said this is not the Fab Five. This is not, all that. Remember all that stuff. I was trying to convince them to pick Michigan, but no.
Yeah. But Michigan could have easily lost to UC San Diego. I mean, it was close. It was 68-65. The game was a nail biter. I mean, it came down to the last shot at the buzzer. The guy's name against is McGee. He had a 3-point buzzer. He was trying to shoot it over a 7-footer. Danny Wolf at the end. I mean, it was close. Michigan really could have lost that one. So, yeah.
Well, not only did they pull that off, they also pulled off beating Texas A&M. And now they're in the Sweet 16 to face Auburn, which I think is going to be a good game. And look, man, they kind of crushed Texas A&M, man. Come on, man. Y'all got to put some respect on Michigan, dog. Like, y'all were down on them so much.
Well, I think Auburn is going to destroy Michigan, though. I mean,
okay,
they did their thing against Texas A&M. They had a good game. Texas A&M game wasn't as good, but UC San Diego, they struggled against them, and I just see a lot of holes in their game, and I think Auburn's going to take that one.
Okay, well, all right. Well, we'll have to see. We'll check in on that. Another big mistake that we put was, hey, Mike the expert, you held on to your fandom, thinking at least that of course we said, I think, like I said, and I thought North Carolina was going to come in with a chip on their shoulder because they hadn't, certainly they were on the bubble, and a lot of people said they shouldn't have made the tournament. Well, looks like they shouldn't have made the tournament.
I'm sad about that because I love UNC, and I was really hoping for them to win, even though I knew they were probably going to lose that one, but I just hoping for them to win. But the thing about it is they got off to a slow start and they couldn't overcome. They started coming back in the second half, doing their thing, really putting in some work, looking like they could come back and win this, but they just weren't good enough.
It's too little, too late.
It went the way it went.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So, we did get a couple of other things, as you see, just like a couple of things. No big deal, but let's move over to the East. Of course. Okay. Now, the first thing we did get, a big one, was Duke. I'm saying Duke looks good. Cooper Flagg played in not only the first game, he also played in the second game against Baylor. And the Blue Devils look for real. They look legit. What you think, Mike?
Yeah, Duke is definitely on point. Cooper Flagg played in both games. I mean, his first game he had 14 points and 7 boards. So I mean, they're on track to do some things. I mean, Duke is a team that if they win it all, you won't be surprised because, I mean, they're just that good.
Yeah, I agree.
Most definitely.
And it doesn't look like that ankle bothers him at all. I don't see any remnants of that. So, I mean, hey, we'll have to see. I think, their next game is against basically Arizona in the Sweet 16. I feel like that's going to be a good game. Wait a minute now. Arizona actually hasn't played yet, so let me correct myself. because we are doing this before all the games are done. So the Arizona still has to play Oregon. So we'll see. Of course we picked Arizona, so we'll see if we're right. All right. So what we got really wrong is our disrespect of BYU. I didn't want to pick BYU at first. I was like, hey guys, I think I think they have a strong team. We led on the strength of VCU and their experience in the tournament, and boy, we got this wrong, man.
Yeah. We most definitely did. I mean, we probably should have went with BYU. I mean, looking at it now, we were holding on to that VCU thing and their experience and thinking that they were going to be able to do some things. But I mean, hey, you get some wrong. Sometimes you're wrong.
You get some wrong. Hey, like they said, you can't be perfect on this bracket thing. Everybody knows that. Like nobody is perfect. Like that's got to be like a 1 in a million chance or whatever. All these ridiculous odds to try to get things perfect. Hey, we were wrong on that. And not only were we wrong on that, BYU went over and beat Wisconsin, who was a 3 seed, and BYU is now in the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
It just went final. What we have gotten right is Alabama. So Alabama is going to play BYU in the Sweet 16. So we'll see if BYU's, finally they get to go against a big time program, definitely a tough program against Alabama. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, BYU had a high scoring game, 91 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they struggled with Wisconsin anyway. It wasn't like they just came and destroyed Wisconsin. It was a close game. Now they're going against Alabama. Yeah, now they're going against Alabama, and I really think Alabama's going to take that one. I'm going to have to go against BYU on
that one. Okay. All right. Well, all right. Let's go down to the now to the West. And if we look, so far so good. Florida is looking good. They demolished Norfolk State just like we kind of knew they would. But hey, in one of the best games of the tournament, that was today against UConn. UConn really put the test. There was a big test against Florida in this one, and I was really impressed with how Florida came back. They hit some really big shots within the last 3 minutes. I mean, big time threes. And Florida is really athletic. They have some athletic guards. They are fast. And saying they're they pretty much they got a good game. So I can see why they're certainly ranked number 1 and why they've done so well in the SEC this year after certainly watching them in these 2 games.
Yeah, most definitely. They destroyed Norfolk. They were put to the test against Connecticut.
Yeah,
they came out on top. They showed they had a real good team. They're real solid, put together, and you can expect big things from Florida in this tournament.
Absolutely. Looking good. They're looking good. So our certainly our Final Four and our national champion, so far so good, looking good. But what we got completely wrong was our love and probably our our trying to be nostalgia and love for Penny Hardaway. Boy, Penny Hardaway's team did not show up at all against Colorado State, and Colorado State put up the big upset against them, knocking them off. So, I was really disappointed in Memphis, man.
Yeah, me too. I definitely wasn't expecting that. I mean, if I had to put money on it, that was a game I would have put money on. I would have lost my money on that game because I thought Memphis had it.
Right. So Memphis was out in the first round. And Colorado State is now playing Maryland. So we'll see who certainly is going to play Florida in the Sweet 16. So that is certainly playing right now. And we'll have to certainly see who comes out of that one. But the next one that we were wrong on, and I think we just kind of rode the Drake taking L's all around. But the Drake L thing, well, we were wrong on that. Drake took care of Missouri. Okay, so I guess Drake won his 500,000 on that on that bet. But maybe he didn't even bet on that. Maybe he thinks that's a jinx. You never know. But yeah, so looks like Drake beat Missouri, but then they did lose to Texas Tech, which we did pick that one. So Texas Tech is in the Sweet 16. Although we thought, they were going to take the first L in the first round, they eventually did take the L.
Yeah, there was no way they were gonna, beat Texas Tech. I mean, Texas Tech is just, they're a real good team. They're ranked number 3 for a reason. Drake got lucky to make it to that next round. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so we did get it right in regards to Arkansas beating Kansas, but what a big upset was Arkansas versus St. John's. And I will tell you, I saw St. John's first game against Nebraska Omaha, and they were shooting lights out. It was threes everywhere, man. Threes everywhere. But they got to against Arkansas, against, John Calipari's team, the Arkansas Razorbacks, and man, they were missing so many shots, man. They went cold. That kind of stuff happens in the tournament. You just kind of how you've been hot, and then you just have that one game that's just off. I felt like St. John's just had an off game, and they could not overcome it. But that can't really happen in the tournament, man. You're going to be one and done.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is you can't just rely on that outside shot all the time. I mean, it was great in their first round. Yeah, it was great in their first round, and sometimes that can be a curse. How badly they beat Nebraska in that first round, that could be a curse because they're hitting all those shots. They took that to the next game, and it didn't work out for them. They got cold. They didn't get to the inside as much as they should have, so that's what happened.
That's what happens, man. So, unfortunately, they're out. Rick Pitino goes home. St. John's, all that, us, the nostalgia of St. John's is back. Well, yeah, it didn't last too long. So, Arkansas is in the Sweet 16. They will be facing Texas Tech, and so certainly we'll have to see who comes out of that one. We'll go from there. Okay, let's slide over to the Midwest. Yeah, it will be a good game. Absolutely.
That'll be a good game. Yeah.
You talking about Arkansas, Texas Tech?
Yeah. I'm actually excited to see that one.
Okay. All right. So, man. All right, what we did get wrong, we got Houston making out of the first round, but man, we put too much stock in Gonzaga. Okay. Yeah. Houston looked like the better team. I'm going to be honest with you. The Zags, they came close, and they had some big mess ups at the end. It's like they kind of like fumbled at the end. They certainly just couldn't, complete the comeback, but Houston still looked like the better team. So we got that wrong. Okay. And that was big wrong because we got them in the Final Four, as you see. So that was our only Final Four teams that have gone out. So now we only have 3 teams that is still alive. So Mike the expert, why do we pick the Zags every year? I don't even know why we always put stock in them. They messed it up for us.
Yeah, Gonzaga over the years, just growing up, you always hear about them. They're always in it. They're always
right.
I remember back in the day when they were the surprise team, and they're always doing so it's hard to vote against them, to go against them. Although, we probably should have picked Houston over Gonzaga. It was almost an obvious pick, but hey, we thought that was going to be the upset. And Gonzaga was going to do their thing.
Never again, man. I'm, like the Zags always, here's the crazy thing. So a lot of times they are like a first seed, and they come in with like they are really good, and everybody's like, this could be their year. This could be their year, and they fumble the bag. All right, and this time, you know what I'm saying? They were still a lower seed, but we thinking, their experience in regards to the tournament, and they still fumbled the bag. Like we should just, let's just let the Zags, stay out in the state of Washington, because they clearly not ready, man.
We had to give up on them, man.
Right. All right. So the next thing that we got wrong is we had Clemson beating McNeese, and McNeese had a really big upset. Okay. So a really big upset. And, so, I don't know, man. The Clemson did eventually lose, but man, I can't believe that an ACC team lost to the number 12 McNeese straight. And shout out to McNeese. They're out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. I don't know if you saw it. They had like this guy with, they kind of did like the 49ers thing. He had like a stereo system to like, you know what I'm saying? Like when they entered before the game and so forth to get them hyped. But yeah, they eventually lost though to Purdue.
Yeah, I see that. That was unexpected. I mean, I would have lost my money there too. I never expected McNeese to beat Clemson, you know. So
No,
I mean,
no, I wouldn't either. But that was a big upset in the tournament. So we have that. Another thing we were well, I'll go to something we got right first. Okay, we've gotten Kentucky right. Okay, Kentucky has certainly, they beat Troy and then they just beat Illinois today, and they are in the Sweet 16 and they look pretty good. Yeah, so Kentucky's looking pretty decent, and that's probably who we should have had in our Final Four instead of Gonzaga. But
Gonzaga, yeah,
right. So, oh well. All right. So here's what we got really, 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 really wrong. I mean, I don't know what we were thinking with Wofford. We thought we were, the bracketologists. We up here being bracketologists, thinking Wofford was gonna have one of the biggest upsets in the tournament of them being Tennessee. Yeah, not quite.
I don't even know what we were thinking. Like, that was just, I mean, now that I look at it, I'm just like, man.
Yeah, a number 15 seed
Wofford,
beating a number 2. And we had all the knowledge of how good the SEC was and how, certainly in regards to basketball this year. And we still were like, yeah, I think Wofford maybe can pull off the upset. Well, we were completely wrong. All right. And not only did Tennessee, not even close. Not only did Tennessee get in, do work of Wofford, they also whooped up on UCLA. Okay. That wasn't even close either. Okay. And UCLA had this big, tall guy. Like, he was super tall, but Tennessee looks athletic. Tennessee has like that one guy who's like kind of like a dog. Who's shooting, certainly they have some good shooters. And now, they have a familiar foe that they're going to face in the Sweet 16, and that's Kentucky, certainly, who's in the conference with them, the SEC conference. So looking forward to that game.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one there. That's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I'm looking forward to that one. That's a must watch, that Kentucky, Tennessee. Okay. All right. So basically, our only really big mess up in regards to our Final Four, like I said, is Gonzaga. We shouldn't have picked them. That was stupid. But I will say our 2 championship, Florida and Duke, are looking pretty good. Okay, they are looking pretty good. And of course, as you see, we have Florida winning. So we'll have to see. So, Mike the expert, any comments on our Final Four?
Man, all I'm saying is the way Duke is playing right now, I might have to renege on that Florida beating them, man. Duke is, I mean,
man, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm still going to stick with what we have, but
yeah,
I don't know, man.
We basically chose because we just hate Duke and we just refuse to see them win a national champion. So we kind of went with our heart there and just picking Florida against them. But Florida looks good, man. I'm telling you, they look good. So, we'll just have to see, especially because it seems like Duke is going to have a much easier road to the Final Four than Florida is. Because, like I said, Florida is going to have to face potentially the Texas Tech and then potentially Auburn. Duke just looks like it might have to face maybe Purdue. Certainly, maybe, well, not Purdue. Yeah, because Purdue hasn't, either Purdue or Houston or Kentucky. So or Tennessee. So, I mean, I think I'd rather their road rather than certainly Florida's road. So, all right, we'll have to see. We'll catch you on the next one after the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, and we'll kind of recap and see who made it to the Final Four. Any final thoughts?
No, man. I mean, some of those upsets were just, kind of wild and stuff that I wouldn't have predicted, even though I believe I'm a great basketball mind,
Right.
I just wouldn't predicted some of that stuff, so, but hey, it happened.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right. So like, share, and subscribe. Sneakers and Sports. For Dom, from Mike the Expert. Yo, we're